Today's episode of Nerd Soup is sponsored by NordVPN, and right now you can get a huge discount on a 2-year plan at nordvpn.com/nerdsoup. And when you use our code NERDSOUP, you'll get an extra month for free. Signing up for NordVPN will give you the peace of mind of protection while using the internet. Public networks leave your information vulnerable, but with Nord, their private networks keep your information completely hidden. Your IP address, private passwords, banking information are all protected. Nord is also available on both iOS and Android devices, so you can secure your mobile browsing experience as well as your desktop, laptop, iPad, and Nord gives you up to 6 simultaneous connections, so everything is covered. With thousands of servers in countries all over the world, Nord gives you the option to watch content from any place in the world. And with Nord's user-friendly interface, it's as easy as clicking a switch. And remember, right now you can get a huge discount on a 2-year plan at nordvpn.com/nerdsoup. And when you use code NERDSOUP, you'll get an extra month for free. So don't wait, secure your internet experience today with NordVPN.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Nerd Soup. I am Aaron, the Nerd Soup Monkey, along here with Beau, and today we are here to review the first episode of Agatha All Along, starring Kathryn Hahn.
Agatha all along. We knew it. If you go back to our first review, we said it. We were like, it's definitely Agatha.
All Along?
No, actually, I said it was Hydra. I was a little off there.
Yeah.
A little off of my prediction. No, but it was a good first episode of Agatha All Along.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. Kathryn Hahn, breakout star, man.
Yeah, great theme.
She's taken over the internet.
I know. She is great. She is fantastic. I've always liked her, but especially in Parks and Rec, but she's been great. She's like molded into every kind of sitcom and every type of era they've tackled so far this season on WandaVision. And yeah, that's the big reveal at the end, that she has been pulling the strings, the puppet master of what's going on in the Hex. And it's not a surprise. I think a lot of fans kind of put the pieces together, Agatha, and kind of thought she definitely had something to do with it. I think the big thing that comes in is the Pietro thing, because we see that she was manifesting Pietro to trick Wanda. You know, when Pietro first showed up, a lot of us were theorizing, does that mean they're bringing in the Fox characters, or opening up the multiverse and things like that? So it is interesting that maybe she just plucked from a different multiverse and kind of copied that and assumed or just used it to trick Wanda.
It is kind of disturbing from Wanda and Vision's perspective, because Vision even asked Darcy, who's the Pietro imposter? Mm-hmm. And Wanda says the same thing, that's not your uncle. So from their perspective, it was like someone that S.W.O.R.D. sent in that vaguely resembles Aaron Taylor Johnson. Well, I think that's really messed up for them to do, you know, to pretend that your brother was resurrected, right? Yeah. But it looks like it could possibly be, like you said, it could just be a manifestation that she kind of plucked from the multiverse, or it could actually be that Quicksilver. I know people were theorizing that Vision may snap him out of it, and then he'll kind of remember his time as an X-Men.
Yeah, that makes sense too. And I think even last episode when, like, talking about, like, the multiverse, there's a comic where Doctor Strange goes into our world and he sees Benedict Cumberbatch as playing him.
Okay.
So last episode, Wanda says something about, like, she references Kick-Ass, and obviously starring Aaron Taylor Johnson and Evan Peters. That's too much of a coincidence for it to be a coincidence and not intentional. Maybe, I don't know, something's opening up in these different multiverses and worlds that are kind of getting misconstrued in their new reality in the Hex.
If they're breaking it into, like, different superhero universes that they exist in, where they can just use Sonic's ring and go into the Kick-Ass universe, that would be crazy. But yeah, they kind of, with Agatha going into that basement, that's a scene that was ripped straight from a comic panel where they're in a house in that kind of same setting. Do you think that she turned her kids into the animals?
Maybe.
Because they were there, they were watching TV, eating peanut butter and jelly, and then there were no kids, but they were 2 animals.
Yeah, maybe. That could definitely be a possibility. Well, and it just speaks to, like, kind of
that book. What the hell's going on in that book?
I don't know.
You're supposed to have the answers here.
You're the answer guy. Call Marissa. But it's also like how much of this, the Hex and what's going on, is Wanda, how much of it is Agatha. Maybe she kind of was pulling the strings and kind of led Wanda to this point to kind of maybe like had some influence in even her getting Vision in some capacity. She kind of guided Wanda along in this manifestation just so she could manipulate the situation and do something with the kids. You know, maybe that was her end game the whole time, and she kind of just pointed Wanda in the right direction subliminally somehow with her witch powers.
Yeah, no, and it looks like she was doing that when she was sitting at the talent show, making sure that things go right. Like you said, controlling Pietro. So it could go even further than that. What is her endgame? And when Wanda goes in that basement, you see that book. I saw people on Twitter calling it's like the contrast to Doctor Strange's Book of Vishanti. Mm-hmm. So I guess evil spells, shit in the forbidden section that you shouldn't be checking out. And it's interesting because now we have the Hayward angle, where they're both battling for something. Like Agatha obviously wants something from Wanda. Hayward wants something from Vision. So they're kind of both being pulled apart here.
Yeah, there's so many different angles of what Hayward wants to do and what Agatha's trying to do. Mephisto is probably still out there doing something.
That's like you have to put $1 in the jar every time you mention Mephisto. I still think he could be out there. But I think it could be Agatha working for him and he'll be the villain for the Doctor Strange movie.
That could be, yeah, I can see that.
Then maybe it's an end credit scene. It's like in The Passion of the Christ when the devil's just yelling. Just Wanda! I don't know. It was also fun to watch Vision kind of put together the pieces. And he spends this episode with Darcy. And that was also funny where she thinks that he's hitting on her, saying, we locked eyes. There was an unspoken understanding.
Right.
But yeah, no, him getting that information that he started off in this MCU as the voice of Jarvis, as an AI. And then he was combined with Ultron, whose programming was, centered on global genocide. So it's a lot for him to take in. And the Modern Family setting was kind of perfect for that because there were so many great reaction memes coming from this episode.
It was funny when he realized, he's like, what am I doing? Like, I could just fly there.
Right, yeah. And the gimmicks in this episode were fun. Kids, puppies. And overall, the episode was just a really good metaphor for what it's like dealing with depression. And I think coming out of 2020, a lot of people can relate to what Wanda was going through. She even says a quarantine-style staycation for her, in a way. And, she readily gives up her children to Agnes, even after seeing a missing kid on the milk carton. And she just doesn't want to do anything, man. It's once again, she's trying to escape from her problems inside of the world that she was creating to escape from her problems. Yeah. So she's just going through it, man. And I found it very sympathetic and very relatable and very funny. I thought like I said, the Modern Family setting really worked.
Definitely. It's I like the intro, the kind of riffed off of their intro theme and things like that. So yeah. And did you watch with subtitles?
No.
So there's like a little Easter egg if you watch with subtitles. There's like a radio broadcast that you can't hear on screen that is playing in the background. So it's like not only is the world like around her going crazy with the controllers and TVs changing and everything going, it's like even the transmission is getting mixed up.
Yeah, and that also too, when she's talking to the camera saying that, I just don't know how to fix that problem. You just feel bad for her. The way that they can bring it through a visual metaphor of everything changing around her, she's losing control. That was all really powerful. And the Nexus commercial, of course, with the commercials now, we have to dissect them. And this is an idea, the Nexus, that goes back to the comics. It's kind of a place, according to Wikipedia, that where all the universes in the Marvel universe intersect. And Wanda in the comics is a Nexus being. So basically she's the physical manifestation of this kind of intersection, universal intersection. I mean, once again, it's a commercial for depression meds, and that's kind of the main theme of this episode. What do you think about that idea? I mean, it kind of connects some dots for the Quicksilver appearance.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, Wanda, her power is... I think Foggy even said that she's the most powerful Avenger and things like that. Like, this power is still very new to her. I mean, and she probably doesn't even know, like, her capabilities or how far it extends. So it could be something where even her making this X and using enough energy and using her powers kind of opened up some different things within the multiverse and kind of causing everything to go out of whack.
And you wonder if she'll fall under the seduction of that power. Because right now, like you said, she may be being manipulated. She's kind of losing control of it. But if she does have a teacher like Agatha who can teach her how to control this power and to use it to its full extent, maybe she does slip into becoming a villain. She mentions it to Monica Rambeau. What if I already am the villain? Mm-hmm. So I wonder if they'll go that route. Also, the Monica Rambeau character, I thought that was one of the coolest instances of a superhero getting their powers. Mm-hmm. Just the struggle of, once again, dealing with your trauma, dealing with your depression, literally having to push through that. She's going through all these flashbacks, all these memories. She's being ripped apart, put back together. and she comes out the other side a superhero.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was a very inspiring way and the look on her eyes, man, that blue look.
Yeah, it's
and the
fresh.
sword suit. She looked like she was ripped from a comic.
Yeah, and you hear some interesting voices. Obviously, Maria Rambeau, Nick Fury, Carol Danvers, so nice little Easter eggs too. And I think she's very much on the side of Wanda here, and she's trying to help Wanda. And I wonder if it is going to get to the point where maybe Agatha is controlling Wanda, kind of like how Wanda was controlling the Avengers in Age of Ultron in some capacity, and they're probably coming to conflict. I mean, there was I don't know if you saw the mid-credit scene.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that. She gets ran up on by Quicksilver.
So
Snooper's going to snoop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, so it looks like they're obviously going to have more scenes together. And I think we might get a mini Avengers. If Quicksilver gets snapped out, we see Monica Rambeau using her powers to fight against these. Monica Rambeau, if you look up her wiki from the comics, she's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
So she can hang. But when it goes back to, Wanda just doesn't want to face the truth. And they always say that with therapy, that it's being honest with yourself. And she can't even be honest with herself about Vision's death. And Monica Rambeau is trying to tell her, listen, you kind of do have to get past that because he's in danger. People are trying to fuck with your husband, so you have to go into superhero mode to protect him once again. But even Darcy mentions that she doesn't understand why he can't exist out of the hex. That would be such a heartbreaking ending if Wanda does have to get rid of the hex and Vision dies once again.
Yeah, I think that might be where it's headed.
You got to find a way to bring this man back, though.
Vision?
He's so good as the character.
I know. This has been really
I think he's gone through enough. People always say it's cheat when you bring back characters who are dead,
Mm-hmm.
but the way he's been brought back is something that no one would want to experience.
Yeah, I just want Wanda to be happy.
Don't we all?
I think she'll like me, like if we met.
Well, keep giving these reviews good scores, positive scores, maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll have a shot.
I'll let her create any reality she wants.
No, I would have just ignored all of the anomalies.
Yeah.
Yeah, people just don't speak and walk when they're on the outskirts of town. That's normal.
Yeah.
Bad air out there.
Normal things.
Yeah, very normal.
How many taxpayer dollars do you think it costs to get that shuttle? And it just gets fucking wrecked.
I wanted to bring that up, how funny that was, that they bring out this badass space rover and it just gets fucking tossed, turned into a pickup truck. Like, fuck you. And we don't see the Connect, I don't think. I don't think that the military woman was her Connect. I think we're still waiting to see the aerospace engineer. I think maybe he had something to do with delivering it, this unidentified person, but there's no way you build him up and it's just some random military woman. Like, hey, Monica. Hey, Charlotte.
Yeah, I think we're going to get a lot of surprises. I think Doctor Strange is probably a shoo-in.
At this point, he's just bad at his job. Where the hell is he?
Yeah, isn't he supposed to be protecting our reality, douchebag?
You think that this is his territory, right?
Yeah,
he's fucking screaming at Iron Man. Iron Man was right. What do you even do, guy?
So if we don't do our jobs...
What is your job exactly besides making balloon animals?
Well, it's like, oh, Mom, we got to go. It's like, how about this? What if we just don't?
What if we just sling ring to Hawaii? Yeah, like I said with the kids, I think that obviously they were kidnapped. I mean, she was willingly able to give them up, and that's really the manipulation here. It's not even so much as she's manipulating her magically. She's just taking advantage of this situation. Maybe they do have a prior relationship, and she's wiping the mind of Wanda, because you would think that she has to have some sort of teaching to be able to use this magic. But like I said, maybe that's where this character tries to step in and show her the full extent of her power. The problem is the kids, because Wanda very much believes that those are her kids, and even though they're not half of Vision's kids, she says that they have thick skin because they have vibranium.
That's funny.
Yeah. So that could also be another heartbreaking ending. I don't want a heartbreaking ending for this character, man. I want the kids to be all right.
No, Wanda's been through enough.
Right. No, and it's getting darker. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, the whole situation is very fucked up, but now it's becoming evil presences are showing their face. Like, what are they going to do to her now? What do they want from her?
And it sucks. Like, I could have rolled with Agatha. I could have been on board with her, but she killed Sparky. It's unforgivable.
And I killed Sparky. Yeah, that was fucked up, dude. Avenge the Fallen.
Yeah.
Gotta fucking go back in time and bring back Sparky. And like I mentioned, I think we're going to have some sort of confrontation, a major confrontation. Paul Bettany said that the finale of the season was like a Marvel movie. And we're starting to see a lot more of that budget. I just want to point out, he does look so good in that makeup. Like, that's Vision. Doesn't look any different from the movies. So it looks like he's on the way to the house, and there's going to be, this is a clash of some pretty powerful people, man.
I know.
You've got some heavy hitters in this show at this point.
Westview's about to it's about to get real.
It's about to turn into Sokovia Part 2.
Yeah. She needs a happy ending.
Do you think that she created a new Mind Stone?
I don't know. Is that something one can do?
Well, it looks like Vision and the Hex are connected.
Yeah.
So if he can't leave, other people are coming and going. They're obviously being changed. If Vision tries to leave, he gets ripped apart. So maybe that's the deal with the devil that she made to bring back Vision.
Yeah, but like Darcy said, it's like, can't you just turn them on? Just flip a switch.
They were trying and they couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever Vision's connection to the Hex is, whether if she made a deal with Mephisto to bring him back, and this was also the price, that he has to come back but also just live in this imaginary world. That's the only way he can stay alive. Or if she, I don't know. I really don't know.
We'll definitely get some answers in these last 2 episodes, and I'm sure it's all going to make somewhat sense, and it's going to hopefully wrap up nicely. But you have 2 episodes left. I hope they are longer. They did say the final episode is like a Marvel movie. I'm expecting at least an hour, no?
At this point, maybe. Yeah, maybe the finale an hour, but I just haven't had a problem with the runtimes because each episode has built on the previous one. But that would be nice. I've been duped. I think we were all duped by that report that the last 3 episodes would all be an hour.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd like to see that. And also that, like characters appeared in this episode that hadn't been around for a while, like the Dottie character.
Mm-hmm.
I still think that could be maybe the devil in disguise because they talk about it's Agatha who tells her she runs the town and she was the one holding the talent show for the children. So now the children have been acquired, it appears.
I think the Mephisto is the mailman.
I hope he's no one because everyone keeps saying that. Who's the mailman? Who's the mailman? That would be hilarious, actually, though, if he's Mephisto. That would be amazing. Just under everyone's noses.
What if Sparky was Mephisto?
I think Sparky's dead.
That's what he wants you to think.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll be back later on this week with a spoiler discussion. And obviously next week too with the episode 8 review, and it's getting ready. These are the big ones.
These Friday mornings, man, it's Game of Thrones level hype.
Yeah, Friday mornings is tight. I love it.
Nice WandaVision, some coffee. Oof. And then depression throughout the rest of the day.
Yep.
Well, would you look at that? It's finally over. Hey guys, Beau Oliver here for one final send-off. Now, before I beg you guys to like and share this video, I'd like to thank our very special Patreon pledgers. We are very proud of the community we've been able to build here at NerdSoup, and it would not have been possible without our Patreon supporters. You guys are the true MVPs of this channel. Everything I've said, you keep the fridge full, you keep the lights on. There aren't enough words to thank you guys, but we'll do it anyway. Thank you. And we have a few videos coming up that have been suggested to us by Patreon pledgers. My Hero Academia, Neon Genesis Evangelion, and Full Metal Alchemist will be reviewed by Marissa, and yours truly, and Castlevania, which will be reviewed by Marissa and Aaron. And if you'd like to consider donating to our Patreon page, you can visit patreon.com/nerdsoup and check out some of the rewards we offer to our listeners. And really, we'd like to thank everyone who takes the time out of their day to watch our videos. Patreon pledger or not, your support is what keeps us motivated to keep giving the world our opinions on movies and TV shows and video games and pop culture, even though no one asked for it. We're still here, we're still yapping, and we hope you continue to join us. I'm Beau Oliver, and I support this message.